Hi and welcome back to the UTF podcast, episode 12. Been away for a while.
Yeah, it's been a few weeks. Obviously, we've been busy with assessments and all our
Dissertations.
uni stuff.
A lot of work, yeah. But we're back, or one more at least, until we have the summer off.
Yeah, we have a summer break and then we'll be back hopefully in September to
carry on.
Smash the new season and keep all up to date.
Hopefully
with
have
our
a lot more content coming up next season.
Exactly.
But, you know, we obviously got the FIFA World Cup in the meantime, so there's an awful lot to talk about today. Do a little bit of a preview, I guess. Talk about some of the squads and the absentees, who we think should be in the squad for other nations or whatever, and who's missing out. And
I would say let's talk about the Welsh squad, but maybe not.
yeah, I'm sure. I did see a nice little paragraph in the Mirror the other day. They said, you know, FIFA's got the new game mode out. If you want to imagine what it's like to be at the World Cup, you can play the little FIFA game. So.
I don't know what to say to that. I can't really say what I want to say on this podcast.
Yeah, well, you know, maybe you should have a better football team. Anyway, I digress. The England squad, that was announced between the last time we did the podcast. Yeah. What did you make of the squad? Were there any people that you think should have been there or who are fortunate to make the squad? Or what was your general impression from an outsider's perspective?
From an outsider's perspective, I'm really happy. I'd be really happy with the England squad if I was an English fan, because thank God Joe Hart ain't going. So that's one liability you don't have to worry about. I've said it before, I'll say it again. Awful keeper. Thank God he's nowhere near the England squad. For you anyway. Also, glad to see Jack Wilshere not go in, which we'll touch on because I know you have a different opinion
we'll touch on that one
to me. But yeah, Jack Wilshere, I'm glad he hasn't gone either because he's not good enough yet. He hasn't shown it this season. He has talent. He does have talent, but he hasn't shown it enough of it, in my opinion. Disappointingly, Gary Cahill's gone. Doesn't deserve it. I can see why he's gone. Experience, obviously, but overall, he shouldn't be going really. If he said he's picking other people, obviously on form, he's been a bit hypocritical by picking people like Gary Cahill then. Glad to see Nick Pope go in, thoroughly deserved. Glad to see youngsters like Roman Loftus-Cheek go in as well. I think he'll give you a different dimension in that midfield, which is quite defensive, which is your reasoning for obviously Big Jack. Mm-hmm. Strikers was easy to pick, wasn't it, really?
Well, I mean, I'm a little bit dubious about Danny Welbeck's.
He's the fourth best striker you've got.
Yeah, but can't we just take three?
We're good. People I would like to have seen in, that was Nora in it. I thought John Roshelby has had a great season. I think he would be thoroughly deserved to have a spot there. He also got the passing ability no one else in your team has. And then defensively, instead of Gary Cahill, I would have liked to have seen Jamel Lascelles go, because I think he's had a great season captain in Newcastle United. He's been solid at the back. The main reason they've stayed up really is because of how good the defence has been under Benitez. Obviously how good manager Benitez is. So yeah, they're the two players I would have liked to have seen gone. Yeah, what was your thoughts on the England squad? Obviously, when you originated on Twitter, your 23-man squad, it's a bit different to what Southgate has gone with.
Yeah, it's a bit of a mixed bag for me. The first 3 points you made, I disagree with all three. Joe Hart should have gone for me. And again, it's not to play. Third goalkeeping slot is basically a free pass to give someone who has a bit of experience there, who can help bring the youngsters forward, who has a bit of knowledge around the World Cup and that kind of environment. Nick Pope, he has deserved it this season, and he's there obviously on merit. So fair play to him. But at the same time, it reminds me a little bit of John Ruddy back in 2010. Realistically, what is he going to add to the squad? He's not going to play unless somehow he makes it with Jack Butland in the pecking order. But I don't think that's going to happen. He's not going to play. He's not going to add any experience or knowledge to that squad, which Hart would do. It just seems a little bit of a wasted position for me. Gary Cahill, I totally get. Yeah, he hasn't had the best of seasons, but there aren't an awful lot of experienced centre-halves that we have. I mean, you can have a look at the likes of Chris Smalling, but I'm not a big fan of Chris Smalling, as you know. I'm not a big fan of Chris Smalling anyway. James Tarkowski would have been the one I would have taken, but he's unfortunately injured now anyway. But I would have liked to have seen him get the nod. But yeah, I'm happy with. I would have been happy with Jamal Lascelles as well. I think he's had a really good season. I'm hoping Everton sign him in the summer. Who was the other one you said? Jack Wilshere, yeah, the big one. How could I forget? He should be going on the plane. There is no doubt in my mind he should be on that plane, because we are such a defensive team. We didn't take Adam Lallana. We didn't take Jack Wilshere, the two most creative midfielders we have. Jordan Henderson, Eric Dyer, so defensive. Ruben Loftus-Cheek, I suppose, yes, but is he going to start any games? Probably not. He's so inexperienced and doesn't have an awful lot of caps under his belt. We got the likes of Jesse Lingard, I guess, but is he really a midfielder? He's more of a forward now? For me, there's no creativity from deep. And Jack Wilshere offers that, and he was told at the beginning of the season that if he can play consistently this season, and not to a consistent level, which we've had this debate off camera, for me it was always if you can play consistently because his issue is his fitness, which he has done. He's played over 30 games this season for Arsenal, albeit some of them are B-string sides in the Europa League. He has still played over 30 games this season. He offers more to me than someone like Jordan Henderson does, and I know he's always going to go as the captain, but he offers more when he's on the field. I don't get how he could play so many games and not be.
I feel if you're going, I agree with what you're saying, the defensive part of it, and you need that deep line playmaker, as you might say. That's why I would have taken Joe Shelby. I feel he's had a better season than Jack Wilshere. I know you say playing consistently, but that doesn't mean he's played consistently well.
The issue with Joe Shelby is his
temperament.
He
hasn't had a card since before January.
Yeah, in all fairness, he hasn't been booked in a long time, but he still has that ability to lose his nut. And you can't guarantee that if he gets in a high pressure scenario against a team that are trying to rile him up, that he won't lose his head. You can't risk that.
He hasn't for 6 months, so.
But it's been low stakes in the Premier League. You're in the World Cup. If you're playing against, you think of something like when Ronaldo got Rooney sent off years ago. How's he going to cope with something like that? I don't see him.
I
being
think the
that
only way to know that is to find that out.
I don't think he has all the tools to deal with that pressure adequately.
I think you
for me,
deserved it. On
the issue I go back to with Wilshere, which I've told you about, is Southgate's inconsistency. Southgate very much had he told Wilshere or whatever that if he played consistently he would go, right? So he has played consistently, maybe not to the highest standard. I think he hasn't been too bad. You disagree, but you're not a massive fan of him anyway. He has played consistently. Danny Rose hasn't. Danny Rose has made 9 starts for Tottenham this season in the Premier League, and that's nothing. And I know that is because he came back from an injury. In the meantime, Ben Davies took up that spot, did really well, couldn't win it back. Not necessarily a slight on his ability, more so injury came at the wrong time. Ben Davies found form at the wrong time for Danny Rose. But if you're going to live on that sword of play consistently, you get in, and you don't take someone who's played 30 games a season, but you take someone who's played 9, where's the fairness in that?
Yeah,
Ryan Bertrand just played almost every game, maybe every game, I don't know how many he's played, but he's played most games for Southampton this season, kept them up. Yes, they've had a bad season, but, I mean, was he undeserving of going? Not for me. I think if you get Ashley Young, our producer Marcus Stanley isn't overly keen on Ashley Young.
No, but
I think he's been fantastic this season. And even though it does look like a little bit of a step back, he has been so good you can't really miss him.
Especially in the formation England want to play as well.
Yeah,
5 at the back, he suits that role.
He's more equipped to being a
that's what he's done for us
all
season.
So I'm happy with Young, but I just think if Wilshere was not going, then why is Danny Rose?
Yeah,
so if he'd have taken Bertrand instead and not Wilshere, I wouldn't have been happy that Wilshere didn't go, but I would have understood more. Now I just feel a bit like
he's contradicting himself,
yeah.
Which is it's the same thing with Cahill though as well. He said people on merit, Cahill doesn't do it to go on merit. So he has contradicted himself in a few different things.
And then the other thing we said as striker, for me, I would have taken Wilshere as well as what we got now, or Lallana as well as what we got now, instead of taking Danny Welbeck, because he's got a decent record for England, but I mean, come on.
He is a top goal scorer going into the tournament.
At some point, you've got to really evaluate what you're doing.
But would you really not take a top goal scorer going into the tournament?
Danny Welbeck, yeah, I wouldn't. Because realistically, is he going to start above Jamie Vardy? No. Is he going to start above Harry Kane? No. Is he going to start over Marcus Rashford? No.
You might.
Not for
Rashford
me.
maybe.
Not for me.
Not for you, maybe not. Yeah, but he might come on instead of Rashford for some games.
He's an impact sub. That's all he's going to be.
Sure.
I'd love him to do well. Nothing against him, but I'd love him to be amazing. But I just can't see it. For me, it just seems like a bit of a. If you're going to make a 4th striker pick someone who's completely different, like an Andy Carroll. Like a target man, someone who you can change the game up that way. Then,
what I will say about Southgate's squad selection is everyone's obviously split on it. Some people saying great choices, some people not. It's only one way to find out, and that's how successful the World Cup is going to be. And we'll find out which players show and which don't. There's one player in that squad though that's had a tough time recently. Young Raheem Sterling.
Yeah, a hatchet job.
But considering we're both want to be part of the media and kind of are part of the media. What's your opinions on the job that's been done on Raheem Sterling in the media?
It's awful. It's just dreadful in every facet. I don't understand why the English media has such a fascination with tearing down the English team before the World Cup. It's not the first time they've launched tirades against Raheem Sterling and other players before. The media, it's a typical thing where misery sells more than joy does. People would rather read about what's gone wrong or or someone being slagged off than they would about someone being praised. And Raheem Sterling's tattoo, yeah, it's not a great tattoo, but he's explained what the reasoning is behind it. And who is anyone to tell him that you can't represent your father's life in that way? You can't represent that memory or that idea in that way. He can represent it as however he wants, as long as he's not doing something completely stupid. That, you know, like, I don't know, like a swastika on his leg or something stupid. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And as long as it's not completely breaching the laws of being appropriate, then. And then, you know, Sky, you see the Sky reporting.
Yeah.
That was.
And they said touch gun again when he never said that in his statement.
His statement says something along the lines of, my dad was killed by a gun, he was gunned down, and I've never touched a gun because of this, or I will never touch a gun. This is my memory of him and how I know that I shoot with my leg, not guns. And Sky reported it as I will never touch a gun again, which is a completely different message, completely different context. Dreadful, and thankfully they've apologised. They've come out and said that.
Yeah, which is good on their part, but obviously they should never happen in the first place.
No.
But that's not the first time with Raheem Sterling. To be fair, there's been so many over the years. Like
Raheem Sterling's going out for breakfast.
Yeah, he's got a dirty car. Was one of them. He bought his mother a sink.
Yeah.
New sink. There's loads of stupid ones, like just because.
It does seem to me to be very bizarre, and touch wood, I never end up in this position, but someone has obviously gone to university for 3 years to do with journalism or sports journalism degree, whatever, and they've ended up writing about that on a daily basis. And if that is what your career comes to, if you can go home, look yourself in the mirror as a journalist and know, what did I write about today? I write about how Raheem Sterling went for breakfast. How dare Raheem Sterling go to McDonald's? He's got millions. Why would he do it? If that's what you've done with your degree, then you should be ashamed of yourself.
I completely agree.
I'm a bit strong, but I mean, celebrity culture in that regard, I understand the fascination behind celebrities, but there's a line you got to draw.
It's the same thing every 4 years. There's always an England player targeted by the media before World Cup, or even the squad in general. People just trying to tear you down.
We need a scapegoat. So when we inevitably fail, because realistically we're not going to win the World Cup, when we inevitably fail, there's someone to blame. Raheem Sterling didn't perform. Why didn't he perform? Maybe his mind was elsewhere. Yeah, because you're like slagging off on paper. Of course, he's not going to be focused. There just needs to be a reasoning behind why we failed, and it's something that's systematically wrong with the media in this country, and I don't know why it's that case, but it is, and it's a real shame.
The last thing I want to say on the England squad, but I know we're going back a little bit, but with Joe Hart as well, another reason why I think it's good we didn't go, you say about experience, but all his experience with England is failure, so why was that experience matter? Shouldn't you have a winning mentality in the squad? What's that point of having a failure mentality?
I don't think that's fair, because
he's done nothing but fail.
We haven't won anything since 1966.
No, but even even had successful tournaments.
You're basically saying if we had the opportunity then to bring in a Wayne Rooney or a John Terry or Rio Ferdinand or Paul Scholes, Frank Lampard, Steven Gerrard, all of them tasted failure. That's all they've ever had. What's the point? That doesn't really work.
But most of the squad have. Only really him and a couple of others in the squad have tasted that failure in the past. And the Southgate. I'm not saying you have to win it to be a successful tournament, but for England you should be at least getting quarters and semis.
If you're saying,
when do you get to the semi-final?
Yeah.
When was the last time you got to the semi-final? So since the 90s you've been a failure, and Hart's been a part of that the last 2 or 3 tournaments.
So he hasn't.
He hasn't
had the last good tournament, 2 tournaments. Losing twice in the round of 16 and then losing to, not getting out of the group in the World Cup.
And
hasn't been great.
When it's partially his fault as well. Obviously round against Iceland, round against Wales. But other absentees, obviously Hart. Well, we went through. We got to the same final. For absentees, Joe Hart was obviously one for England. There's a few others around all the other teams, which have been quite surprising for the both of us.
Yeah.
People like Nangolan from Belgium. There's also Mauro Riccardi from Argentina. There's a few others as well. What's your opinion on some of the states of some of those players?
Nainggolan I think is insane, because Nainggolan has got to the Champions League semi-final this year. He's done really well in Serie A. He's really helped Roma push Juventus and Napoli to the title this season, even though they didn't come close enough. He's such a good player. He's renowned for being such a quality player on the ball, and he has something that an awful lot of people don't have. I don't understand. There must be a rift for me between him and Roberto Martinez.
There's 2 things I'm thinking. One, apparently there was a rift. Apparently they fixed that, but obviously I don't think it is, clearly, by leaving him out. But also Martinez, his excuse for not taking him was he doesn't fit the system that he wants to play, which it's understandable, but you still don't take him.
There is a very big difference, I think, between looking at names on paper and names in a team, how they work and how they because on paper, you look at Nainggolan and you look at Marouane and Fellaini and you think, how on earth is one going but the other isn't? But then, like you say, if you think about how they fit into the team, Fellaini offers something an awful lot that other people don't. Height, power, strength, a nuisance just to be in the box and getting in the way. But it still just seems bizarre just because of how good he is. And Mauro Icardi is another good example of that. The only negative thing for him is Argentina have so many good players. They have the likes of Gonzalo Higuain, Sergio Aguero, Paulo Dybala, Lionel Messi. It's tough to get in that squad, but I can't remember the exact goal to game ratio.
29
but it's absurd.
34.
Yeah, it's absurd this season. It's been really, really good.
Not in the best interland sides either.
No.
So that's the thing as well.
And at that point, you have to ask the question: what more could you do to get into that squad? Because from what I gather, an awful lot of Argentinian fans are saying that Higuain hasn't had a great season this year, and that Icardi probably deserves to be in over him. But according to manager,
is this Sampaoli?
Yeah, he said that he's not high enough in the pecking order, and I just think, well, what can you do? He's got that many goals.
I agree with that. He does, on merit, he deserves to be there. I can see why they took Higuain instead, though, because he's a different option. He's that target man, which obviously Messi, Dybala, and the rest of them don't add.
They're all smaller, quicker players, whereas Higuain's more of a robust.
So I think if you're going to drop someone out, someone it would have to be one of the others. Someone like a Dybala, which doesn't seem like.
But then again, the thing with Dybala is he has the versatility to play midfield, play out
exactly,
wide.
Yeah. So it's hard for him to get into that squad, and you can see why he hasn't been in it, but you can also see why he should be in it. So it goes both ways.
It's tough, yeah. It really is difficult.
There's plenty of.
That's one of the sort of negative sides to having a star-studded.
A few other absentees. There's a few in the Spanish squad, especially in the Premier League. There's a few left out.
Yeah. All of Chelsea's ones missed out.
So
Morata, Fabregas, Morata.
So I'm a bit surprised with Alonso because he's had a good season, to be fair to him. I know he had a couple of patchy moments. I'm surprised
with Alonso compared to Nacho Monreal, and we spoke off the camera that maybe Monreal has the versatility to play at the centre-back as well as left-back, but I don't know.
It just seems. Would you see Alonso?
And I know the thing is with Spain they have Jordi Alba, so
none of them would play anyway.
Alonso's not going to play unless something happens to Alba, but still it just seems a bit bizarre that on the last 2 seasons he's been fantastic, but I don't, he should probably be going.
And the thing with Morata is they only seem to take one proper number 9 because they don't seem to play with that type of style.
Morata has been a bit off since December. Yeah. First half of the season was great. He was fine with Madrid last season. It's only been the last 6 months, which I guess is still quite a big thing. 6 months is a long time to be in a slump, but he's another option, isn't he? Like, so if you don't take many strikers, they tend to play with a lot of loose forwards.
I guess all these decisions all these managers are making in the World Cup, they'll only question if they fail. If they do well, then obviously they're going to be thinking, oh, what a great decision it was. So it all depends on how successful these teams and these managers do.
Do any of the squads that have been announced, have they changed who you think will win the tournament? Who now? I can't remember you said before, but who now would you say?
I've always said in this tournament, Germany. I've always backed Germany in every tournament since 2006. I know obviously they haven't won some of those, but it's always hard not to back them.
Marco Reus is finally in the squad.
Yeah, after
over his injury issues.
For a person who scored the winning goal of the last World Cup, isn't it? Mario Götze. He's not in the squad. It's a bit of a 4-year turnaround.
He's had a bit of an issue, hasn't he?
Yeah, he got an illness, so he had an illness, which affected his playing time. But as an outsider, just realistic, Belgium, I think they've played really good football in Martinez. They were the first team to qualify other than Russia for the World Cup. I just think they look a really good outfit. Defensively, they've got a lot of strong players. Obviously, we've got people like Vincent Kompany, Toby Alderweireld, Jan Vertonghen. You're going to be good defensively, and then they got the attack to accompany that as well. When you've got people like Eden Hazard and Romelu Lukaku, well, I would say Nainggolan, but he's not going. Yeah.
Dries Mertens.
Kevin De Bruyne, best player in the Premier League. Kevin De Bruyne, in my opinion. Dries Mertens again. Yeah. Fellaini to make a difference off the bench if needed. I think they've got so many options and such a good squad.
And they've got people like Moussa Dembele who's underrated. But,
so I think I'd pick Germany, but as a backup option, I would pick Belgium as my second choice team for the World Cup, just because of the squad they got and they look good over it.
Mine seems a bit obvious because I'm picking 3 teams that are very, very good. But Brazil, to me,
they look good in qualifying as well.
They look good in qualifying, and the last World Cup they didn't really have that many. It wasn't a star-studded squad. They had Neymar, but they had Fred up front, and they had a couple of other players that weren't really top draw. Now their squad looks good. It looks really solid from the defence, the midfield to the striking department, and I think they'll be a threat. Germany, obviously, favourites. Understandably, the Germans are pretty proficient whenever they do anything, and they've got a really good squad. But the other one that I'm really interested to watch is France, because I think on paper they have in my opinion, they have the best squad. Like you say with Belgium, they might not be a great team, but in terms of the players they have in the squad, it's so good. I think France have got the best squad, so I'm really interested to see how that works. And there was something online I saw. Someone drafted a whole 23-man squad of players that weren't taken, and it would probably be better than an awful lot of squads that are going.
That's what I was just going to say. If we can just look at the players that aren't going for France, we can see how good this squad is. When you have people like Lacazette not going and
Tony Martial,
which is a shame obviously for me as a United fan. But when you have players like that not going, and Adrian Rabiot actually refused to be on the standby list.
Yeah.
Because
named as part of the 11 standbys and took himself off the list.
So that was. I'm not sure if he'll play for France again and did the shot.
Dimitri Payet is another one who's had a really good year.
And I think he's at the top of the list in most of the stats in the French league.
There are a lot of them. They've got an awful lot of squad depth, and it must be a real difficult decision to make that.
It is hard to especially midfield, to dispose people like Pogba, Matuidi, Kante. It's going to be difficult to try and get in front of those type of players. But I think I said
same up front when you got the likes of Mbappe, Giroud, who's now 4th highest goal scorer for France after last week. Griezmann.
He seems to be the number one, doesn't he?
Benzema. I think he scored a goal in the last game, and he overtook Zidane, Jules Fontaine, and someone else. So he's scored a few goals for France.
He's always scored a few goals. I think he's an underrated player, Giroud. I think he's a really good striker, as always was for Arsenal, and has been for Chelsea since he signed, and also has been for the French national team as well. Yeah. So I think that's everything for this episode.
Looking forward to it. I can't wait for the World Cup, really. It's going to be...
That's all you're going to be doing.
I've been a bit bored of football, I'll be honest, the last month or two. Everton have sucked the life out of me. But I enjoyed playoff final. I really enjoyed the Champions League final. And I'm looking forward to the World Cup, getting back into it. It'll be good.
We'll also be discussing those finals in the next part of the podcast.
Here.
Yes, we'll have the link to this episode right here. Marcus, good luck.
There's only one for you to test, Marcus.
That's all for this episode of Under Floodlight That's all for this episode of the Under the Floodlights podcast. Make sure you I'm messing this up here. Click on our links in the description. Leave a comment down below if you disagree with what we said about the England squad or favourites of the World Cup. Let us know who your favourites are. Our socials are going to be here. Thank you, Marcus. So leave a like, make sure you click that subscribe button. That's all for us. We'll see you next time.